Listen up. This is going to be a story that might help you guys out a little bit. A story about a grandfather and a grandson. Grandson graduates high school, top honors. The grandfather comes up to him and said, "Hey, you graduated high school, top of your class. I want to give you a gift. I have a car that I've had for 30 years, and I want to give that to you as a gift. Go take it to the car lot, used car lot, and see what they'll give you for it." So the kid does. And the used car guy goes, "I'll give you $1,000 for it." The grandson comes back to his grandfather and says, "They'll give me $1,000 for the car." And the grandfather says, "Tell you what, don't jump the gun. Go to the pawn shop, see what they'll give you for it." So he takes the car to the pawn shop. The pawn shop guy goes, "I'll give you $2,000 for that car right now." And so the kid comes back happy to the grandfather. "Hey, the pawn shop's gonna give me double. He's gonna give me $2,000 for that car." And the grandfather goes, "Calm down, think. Go, they're having a car show, collector car show over in the valley. Go there and see what happens." Kid takes the car over there. He comes back, he goes, "I had several people offer me $100,000 for that car. It's some kind of collectible car, Granddad." The granddad goes, "I know that. I want to teach you something. If you're not being properly valued where you are, you have to go where you will be valued. And if you are being undervalued, don't put up with it." So the lesson I'm trying to get into your head here is, when you work at a job, you're not getting your proper value because somebody has decided what you are worth. They've decided to pay you as little as they can and try to get as much out of you as they can. In other words, you're selling yourself wholesale when you work for somebody else. Somebody else is establishing your value, and they're not paying you what you're really worth. Because believe me, you've got a lot more potential than you have been led to believe. You have been taught by what outside influencers are telling you you're worth. You've been taught what your value is. And believe me, your value, your ability to make money, your ability to be self-empowered is much greater than what these people are giving you. So you have to become self-empowered. A JOB stands for just over broke. You've got an employer who has basically bought you wholesale. For example, if you're a plumber and you go work for a plumbing company, that plumbing company is gonna pay you $20 an hour to do the work, but he's gonna bill you out at $200 an hour. You have sold yourself wholesale. So what I'm trying to get into your head here is, become self-empowered. Be your own boss. Fight the power and put yourself on the throne. Because when you work for somebody else, they are trying to pay you as little as they can. They're not trying to pay you what you're really worth. Keep that in mind when you go look for a job. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been infected by this coronavirus and you're out of a job. This might be a blessing in disguise because now is your opportunity to start exploring your ability to be your own boss. And this is something that has been programmed out of you. Because when we go to school, they don't teach you how to be your own boss. From day one, they teach you how to be a good little employee. They program you, teaching you how to do reading, writing, arithmetic, and all that crap. They don't teach you how to be in business. They don't teach you the skills you need to be an entrepreneur. They don't teach you how to become self-empowered. They give you the skill sets so that you can go work for somebody else. You can have these basic skills and be functional to the point where somebody might offer you a job. And it comes from back in the days. Well, let me go into another story here if you're not tired of listening to me already. Okay, back in the days when we came to the United States as pioneers, we were all totally self-empowered. We came here with nothing in covered wagons. And at that time, we were an agrarian society. We were all either ranchers or farmers, or both. We either raised livestock or crops or both. And we lived off of that. That's what we did. We were self-empowered, totally self-empowered. Then the Industrial Revolution came along. Things like the assembly line. And suddenly these big plutocrats needed a huge source of cheap labor. But that cheap labor needed to be semi-educated. So they came up with a school system. And the school system gave people enough of an education so that they can follow instructions and work on an assembly line. And schools really haven't changed much since then. They are programming factories that churn out masses of unthinking people. They've been programmed not to be self-empowered. They've been programmed to believe that if I learn this group of skills, they call them skills, but it's really just basic education. If I learn this basic education, I'll have security because I have a job. Well, where's your security now? See, here's the difference. I used to work at a job. I used to drive a truck. And I've done a couple other jobs too. But I learned that for me, working for someone else wasn't the way. I needed to become self-empowered. I needed to learn how to make money on my own. And I got on the computer and I got on the internet and I learned. I learned how to make money online. And now I'm looking at some of my friends who had a job all their life and now they've got nothing. I'm cruising along. I'm still making dough. Every day I have money coming in on autopilot. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll type up a little email or something, take me 8 or 10 minutes, and I'll send it out and make a couple of grand. I do that when I want, but that's because I learned how to become self-empowered. And I deprogram myself from that crap mentality of needing a job, where I'm dependent upon somebody else to tell me what I'm worth in the marketplace. And that's the other thing. You're in a marketplace full of chuckleheads out there that want the same job. I mean, it's supply and demand. There is such a glut of people out there willing to do that job for pennies. Why? Because that's what they've been programmed to believe. Break out of that. Break out of that mentality. Again, you have no idea how powerful you are until you start trying to empower yourself and learn to become self-empowered. It's the most important, the most powerful thing you can learn, and you're not going to learn it from any school. So there it is, guys. Maximum respect. I hope this opens some eyes. Share this video with some people that might be needing to hear this. Booyakasha. Donate a few bucks to help a sick kid at St. Jude's Research Hospital for Kids. Maximum respect. Cheers.